Alright guys, kind of shitty out here, so we're gonna install this diesel heater. So if you order one of these diesel heaters through the mail, get it. This is what you can expect. I don't like unboxings, but here we go. The muffler, fuel intake pipe, instruction manual, fancy fuel tank, the adapter inside. I'm supposed to drill this out either at that spot. Now you're probably familiar with this. You got two different options to use that fuel tank. I'm not going to use it. Let's come over here. Get the knife out. So what I'm doing is I'm installing this Chinese diesel heater into my Tahoe here. It's kind of an experiment. I just want to see if it can keep it from having to scrape snow all winter long. That's one reason. I got some other ideas that I'm going to do later, like might make an adapter so I can heat my porch from the truck while this is in here running. So diesel heater itself comes in this nice packaging. Alright, so what are we working with here? Look at these. Fake carbon fiber. And I got a metal shell. That is not plastic, that's metal. Cool. All metal heater. Got the gasket mounting surface. Cool. Oh, that sucks. I didn't get the controller I wanted. This is a different one. Probably gonna have to look up the instructions. It did come with the remote. That's kind of cool. But that's not the controller, so I'm gonna have to look around. There's the fuel pump. It's not the standard controller, I guess. Well, that's okay. Let's open this box up. This is probably where the exhaust pipe and the other stuff is. Let's see what we got here. Let's see what other goodies came with this thing. Alright, cool. It's got the intake muffler in that bag. Got all your hose clamps and twat knots. Oh, it even got a splitter. Cool. This is a crappy fuel line. I was told I should replace that, but we're going to rock it right now. The wiring loom. Cool. And some vents. Here's the exhaust pipe. A little stainless bed. And there's my air intake pipe. A low quad, you got to be careful you don't crush that, but so that's everything it came with. Pretty straightforward. So what I did so far to install this is I drilled a pilot hole up by my rear differential. Just wanted to get it centered and everything. I'm going to cut that bigger, but this is where the heaters go back into my Tahoe. So we'll just get her done. Back again with the diesel heater. So I got a few accessories to mount it. We're gonna give it a shot. It's not really bad outside, no snow, but it's coming. It's December 1st, so we're gonna get this installed. Coming together. Just got all the equipment out there. So here's the heater. This is a mounting plate. It's like a rubber silicone gasket under there, probably heat proof. Well, I'm just bolting that down, get that bolted down. And the intake side, I've heard on videos, is always on the side near the fuel pump, which makes sense because this exhaust gets really hot. So we're going to mount the exhaust pipe, or we're going to mount the air intake pipe and the exhaust pipe first. And then we're going to push it down through the holes. Then we're going to bolt this down to the truck. But in between, we're going to put this fireproof gasket sealer, because it's an uneven surface I'm mating it to, and I'm going to use some washers for spacers just to get it mounted evenly. But yeah, every job is going to be a custom install. This one just happens to be a little different. Alright, so it came with some crappy clips there, as they call hose clamps. I should use fuel injection ones, but I'm just going to use the supplied ones. Probably replace those once they rust out. I don't think those are stainless. It might be. I doubt it though. They look like the nickel coated steel ones. But so basically you put that, at least in my situation, I'm going to put that together first, drop it down in the hole, attach it, so we'll be there soon. So you can kind of see the gasket material is pushing out. Get that sealed really well. Here's the exhaust. Just temporarily mounted at the back here. I want to put an extension so it goes out past my bumper. But for now, I just got a little baling wire holding it, because that might not be its final place. I might actually try cutting a hole in the muffler and running it down into my other exhaust, but I don't know if that'll work. And right here, I've got the intake pipe routed around. Kind of goes into a protected area so it doesn't get mud and stuff on it. So I got the fuel line hooked up. I used 2 of those little hose clamps. Run her down and away from the exhaust. Down and around the spare. And we're coming right out here. We're just gonna hook it up inside my box there. This old fuel can that's gonna go right here in my little outboard box here, because I don't want it to fuel in with me. What's cool though is it came with this is an intake adapter, it's called, this brass thing, or zinc coated steel, whatever. But yeah, they fit right in the cap to this jug, so it's gonna be perfect. And I cut it on the end just like that, so it doesn't actually suck from the bottom, it sucks from the side in case it hits the bottom, but I don't think it's gonna. So yeah, that'll be just about perfect, because we'll run the fuel line, will just come out right there, and I'll mount the fuel pump inside of there, and it'll just pump right down and in through the fuel line. So this is right after I got it hooked up. The audio got cut, but there's the fuel filter, fuel pump, it's all hooked up. It's controller, got it all set up, and I ended up running it through a cigarette plug adapter to give it constant power. So unfortunately my first fire up got the audio deleted, but this is me plugging in the cigarette lighter adapter, finding out that this thing actually works. It's a pretty exciting moment. So there's the controller, pick it up. That's the first time I ever turned it on right there, and I obviously can see that's a really weird controller. There isn't any videos on YouTube about this controller, so hopefully this can help you. Right now is what I'm doing is I'm priming it. You have to prime these diesel heaters before you run them. So you fire it up, and you wait for the fuel to make its way down the fuel line all the way to the heater. So this is just the initial stages. Yeah, getting back to that weird controller. So that controller, I looked everywhere on YouTube, and there's all the little animated ones, and they all have a triangular plug. Every single one, even the dial controls. But this one has a little tiny round plug that's different than all the other videos. I watched literally hundreds trying to find the same controller. So you probably won't have that issue, but I'm just talking over this fuel pump. You can kind of see it running there. This is what you call the prime stage. I'm just priming it, so you got to wait for the fuel to run all the way to the heater. Then you stop the priming process. Once that's complete, then you are able to fire it up for the first time. So now I'm at that point where I'm priming it, and you can see the fuel kind of, if you look closely, you can see it just falling down into the tube. So at this point, I'm just priming it. It took a while. It took 2 cycles, 2 complete cycles. They're about 2 minutes apiece. But eventually you'll see this fuel start to flow right past the spare tire there and up into the fuel filter area, or the heater area. So, it felt really good to see that fuel start coming. And yeah, so I waited till it got just before, and then I was up to the fire up stage. That's basically the all you have to do to prime it. So now I got to the point where I actually got it fired up. I had to run through 3 error codes. I think it's because I had air in the line, and so it basically just errored out, gave me an error 01 on the controller there. But this is past that. This is actually when I got it working and it's fired up. But the first 3 fire-ups is about a minute each, and then it went into error. I unplugged it, plugged it back in, turned it back on the controller, and now you can see I got it set at 33 degrees Celsius. So I changed the mode. Now I'm setting it down to like 20, I believe. But yeah, it's because the thing was firing on all cylinders and it was hot, and the temperature went from like 35 up to 44. So yeah, and I got my laser out to test the heat. Back here with the diesel heater. So it's nice and warm in here. We got 68.9. This is set at 23 degrees Celsius, which is about 73.4, I believe. But yeah, it heated up. Now it's in its very low state. There's a battery voltage drop. You can see the bottom number is my battery voltage currently. The top number is my setting. So I tested my battery last night when I was at 12.7 volts. This was setting at like 10.8. But anyway, so yeah, I've got ducted here and there. I'm gonna put the little vents on. It's working great. Can't hear it right now because it's in its low state. I was kind of curious what it would do when it was when it got to temperature. Apparently it shuts off, which is a good thing. You can see it's pretty warm in here. Let's see. So yeah, there's still heat coming out of that tube, 108 degrees. But you can't hear the heater. You get down here, can't really hear it. There's a little muffler right there, straightforward. Can't hear anything. Let's see if that. Oh, I can barely hear it. You can see it. 95. Okay. But yeah. 68, I'm letting the cold in, so it'll probably fire back up here in a minute. But it's all hooked up and working how it should. I just got to mount it, do a little more permanent fixtures, and then once it snows, get to test whether it heats this whole truck up so I don't have to scrape ice or snow. But yeah, it's basically a custom install. Here it kicking back up, so it must have cooled off enough to fire it back up. You can hear it starting to blow. You can see it's heating up. That's so cool. So it works exactly as it should. Now just for the long-term tests on fuel efficiency and battery storage and capacity. So we'll see how it goes.